Hello, I'm Wallace Allen. This is Empire Talks Back. Today's program will feature an interview with Miss Nashane McClain, and she's going to tell us about the Paper Dollhouse. We'll be right back and find out a little bit more about her organization.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Hello again, I am still Wallace Allen, and I'd like to introduce you to Miss Nashane McClain. How are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm good. There's too many people who know that I may not be good. But your organization is not only well, but doing good. Tell us about the Paper Dollhouse.
Paper Dollhouse was originally a poem started back when I was 12. And it was based off of what I've seen around my house. I saw a lot of women who were really strong, who were really indicating that they had to be beautiful because of what they saw on TV.
This is a poem written by?
Me.
By me?
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember a few stanzas of it?
Yeah, I do.
Could we hear some of that?
Sure. It's Paper Dollhouses. Picturesque visions of what's beauty and what's not. Velcro tab linings of clothes. Fashion's not of what beauty is supposed to be, but of the crude images people make us to be. Paper dollhouses cover up the truth of what the pain of beauty can be. Is it makeup or raw emotion we seek? Paper dollhouses, painted faces, tiny hips, full breasts, lush lips. Is this our definition of what real beauty is, what we see? Or is it the inside that reigns true beauty?
Excellent. In terms of delivering a message about women being subjects of so many other people's opinions in terms of who they are, what they want to be. Let's go further. What's your solution? What is the problem?
I feel like the problem is that we internalize a lot of our issues and our drama and our trauma from our younger childhood or even things that we've experienced, and there's not a lot of healing or growth that when it comes to that. And as we grow older, our mind still stays kind of stagnant, more like a childlike mind frame, because we're trying to find peace somewhere. So we're trying to find ways through drugs, alcohol, it could be anything that we're trying to find comfort in rather than comfort within ourselves, because a lot of people are too afraid to be comfortable with themselves.
That's a pretty good analysis. So what do we do about that?
Well, I teach on my show. I did teach about the Johari window, which is bringing some of your things from the past to the front, breaking some of the traditions that you set for yourself, breaking patterns or behaviors that was set for you as a child or even set as an adult, patterns you've gained from other people, relationships, friendships, situations, different things like that, because we pick those all up. We're constantly learning creatures.
Could we simplify that a little bit and exemplify it a little bit?
So if a person comes from a really bad background and then they're
bad background. Okay, now, when we say bad background, does that person recognize that they've come from a bad background?
That's the first step of healing, is accepting who you are as a person. And I think that's what I'm trying to do, is get the people to understand, okay, I might have a problem and now I need to fix my problem. I think I'm my problem, instead of someone projecting their pain or their hurt or abuse or trauma on someone else, which is...
Would a bad background represent something that people standing around could look at and see, or is this something that is internalized by the person and they don't know it? Bad background, that's a...
Well, you could say both. You can really say both, because for one, they might showcase their behaviors on another person. So, if they're used to being abused, they might abuse someone else because they feel like they have to continue that same pattern. It's that hurt and that pain where I have to project what I feel on someone else because no one's listening to me. It's almost like becoming a 45-year-old man, but still, like a 10-year-old child screaming and kicking to get out, which is how a lot of serial killers, things like that get started. So it's all functions with the brain. And the things that we don't really pay attention to is the ability to not be so codependent on other people's opinions about ourselves. And that's what makes the issue, and it kind of generates that pain and that fear, and it keeps that going throughout the years because we're so codependent on that need.
So knowing this, how does your program work? What do you do?
Well,
Now I understand you have a TV program.
yes,
Okay.
it's on YouTube. It's called Paper Dollhouses by the same name. It was originally for women because the last stanza of that was to explain that a lot of women, they're not cookie cutter women. They're real women with their backaches and their swollen feet and their flabby skin, not so tight, eyes that don't shine so bright. They're dedications to mothers, to the women out there who felt like they didn't have a voice, because a lot of women don't have a voice. But then after a while, I got men interested in it as well, because they have a lot of issues in their background that they want to heal from. And maybe, it can help the next generation of our children and, coming up, because a lot of our children are
I'm stuck on what you said about women not having a voice.
A lot of women. I actually was teaming up with the Option House over in San Bernardino. Because
Basically abused women.
yes, basically abused women.
Subjects of violence, either emotional or physical.
Yeah.
Even as we discuss that socially, the idea of not having a voice,
Yeah.
I think as you are working with your clients or working with women,
Yeah.
what do you do to give them that voice or make them realize they do have a voice that they haven't been using or that they've been suppressing, because we have a voice?
Right. I allow them to tell their stories, and I tell them to tell me a story at your darkest point and what you had to go through and what you went through after to get through it. And I have them tell that on film for a reason, because I feel like when a person recants, their issues, but then also their solutions, they realize just where they are, especially in that situation, or how far they've come from that situation. And then also their voice will reach another woman out there who's too afraid to go and say exactly what another woman may be going through. So a woman could have been abused for 7-8 years in a marriage and have 5 to 6 kids, and she's by herself and she has this and that, and she thought about hurting herself. But then she got up and she decided to go get a job, and she goes to church, and she's very active now, and she's very happy, and her kids are happy. So there's another woman out there exactly like that, who's at her breaking point, who might not make it past tomorrow. She hears that story of said lady and says, you know what, I'm not as bad as I thought, because I can get over it too, just like she did.
How do these stories get shared?
So I do share them on my social media, on YouTube and on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called it's Paper Dollhouses by the same name. I get people to go there, and they set up consultations when they want to speak to me or one of my spiritual advisors. I have a group of women who are dedicated to not just helping other people heal, but we also help each other heal. So I have an amazing team of really incredible women who have decided to give, some of their time to this project, to get this project going. And they've been bringing in people, and they're helping out people, and they're doing their own videos and their own testimonies, and they have their own testimonies on the YouTube as well, just in case somebody wants to feel comfortable and they don't want to talk to me. They can go on there and look on YouTube. We have, so far we have videos up from Christina Morgan, Ellis, McKenna, Lois. She's one of my favorite women in the group. Sorry. And also Christina Moore. So
For the other people out there who are not totally into pop culture, we're talking about famous people, right?
Well, no, these are actually, they're famous to me.
Yes,
This is the women on my team. These are the women that are taking their time out to not just talk to women on camera, but personally on the side. So we also have personal consultations. So we're not therapists, but what we are, we're advisors. We're life coaches. We'll help you work through your trauma and your healing through helping each other with
sharing
talking.
the experiences and kind of analyzing them and giving advice. Do we give advice?
Yes, we give advice, but we try not to give advice where you don't want to take it and do something wrong with it. So we try to help you make your own advice. We suggest an advice to you.
Give
we
you some
let
alternatives.
You make your own choice for yourself, because that's the ultimate goal, is to make a self-sufficient person out of it. We want to break the bonds of codependency, and we want to create a happy, healthy mind.
So you want these people at some point to be codependent on you so that you can get them to stand up and go help other people by being a good example.
Right.
Can you give me a testimonial or an example of someone that, without naming them, just a circumstance, and maybe blend a couple together, but give us an idea of the type of thing that people are expressing on your YouTube channel.
One girl in particular, she had a family that she grew up in, and that family didn't really know how to be cohesive without one person. So when that one person passed away, they didn't know how to make it.
So
And
that's almost a common story. Big Mama dies.
Yeah.
All of the kids who all felt that she loved them the most have that basic argument of what to do with the house and the ring and things of that sort. And we
Exactly.
can see that in probate court almost every day.
Yeah. And then what suffers is the child that's involved. So the child gets involved with the situation with the family. It could be anything. But the child has to now grow up in, a situation with people like that. There's been women I know who are too afraid to go to the police because they've been beaten, raped in their own home, and they're too afraid to tell because the police won't do anything about it.
How the police won't do anything about it is a social phenomenon that kind of associates itself with the long-term sexism that goes on or has gone on in this country. I think we said something earlier before the show about how women are trying to step past a certain classification and say, determine what abuse is.
Yeah.
When I think I said that's kind of like saying for someone who's enslaved, like there's some degree of slavery.
Right.
Degrees of abuse for women in a sexist atmosphere, it's kind of hard to define. It's almost everything is abuse, and just because you've been used to it and comfortable with it doesn't mean that it's not abuse.
Right.
Are there things of that sort that you discuss in trying to get women to move forward? What is all the way free? What does that really mean? What does that represent?
Well, I tell every woman that they are the cradle of civilization. They make and create life, and everything that they say and do, it goes on to the child. So an unhealthy brain can't raise a healthy brain. So I help out these women take away that abuse and that trauma, and like I said, the breaking that codependency, and we talk. Because what's missing recently is the sisterhood, the communication, all of it's gone. It's just more one person might be degrading another, or they're taking their trauma and they're putting on somebody else's trauma, and they're not helping anymore. It's more of like a it's myself type of battle. Like it's me for myself, and nobody really helps anybody out anymore. So because of that, the communication's gone. We're putting it on our children. Our children are doing the same thing. There's no communication with them, and then it raises these really lost codependent adults, which creates abuse.
So you have basically set up a digital
Library.
digital library. Do the people, the women who are contributing to that library, have you at any point gathered them together so they could be with each other, or is that something you intend to do, or something you even think is necessary?
Some of the women I do. So mainly the women from my group that have become part of my team. Those women originally did a video themselves, and then we all got together and created a group, and they wanted to come onto the team to help other women. But in that group, it's constant healing and it's constant motivation every single day. It's not like we're just getting on there, we're helping each other heal from our own battles. So that way, and I love it. I love the experience that came from it. It's like an amazing sister, and I don't even know these women personally. They are all the way out in Ireland to Texas to Utah. They're everywhere, and I love it because I feel like I've unified, a sisterhood that streams across the world.
Difference between being well and doing good.
Yeah.
Okay. Nashane McClain.
Yes.
We'll be right back and speak with her right after this break.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen, Nashane McClain. Nashane is over an organization called Paper Dollhouse.
Yes.
What are your qualifications for all of this therapy that you're able to provide to these women?
I just ask for people that want to be heard to just contact me. I don't really require much. If they want a friend to talk to, kind of text me in the middle of the night, that type of thing. It's just people that really want to heal.
I was thinking more about your qualifications for leading them out of the darkness into the light.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. For me, I was trying to do a course where they would, first we would talk it out. And then after we talk, then I follow up with you a little later just to see how you're doing, kind of from where we were before. And then, like I said, I provide the conversation. I'll just randomly contact the person, ask them how they're doing. And then, because I remembered so much from their story, I'll relate that to you. Okay, well, how does that, from now, how was the story then to now? Like, how has everything changed? The situation, has it gotten better or has it gotten worse? Okay, what can we do to get you better past that, the first situation? Like, how can we help you, or how can I help you? And then if I can't do it, then one of my coaches, they jump on and they do it, because they have their own ways that they help people heal. So they go and talk to them, and they have special ways that they do things. So I do have tarot readers, and I do have women that have worked with different hospitals and different things like that to give certain therapy. So they have special tricks and special techniques to help them over the internet, like tapping. And I know that some of that stuff it is known in the hospital, so tapping. And I've been, that's happened to me, just so I can experience it for myself, from Miss Lois Stevenson herself. And she's the one that provides that service. So people that might need a constant reminder that they're okay, she teaches them how to self-soothe without having to resort to any of their vices.
And you say tapping.
So for me, she would tell me if it could be an overstressful situation, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And she really walks you through it, and she explains it kind of to the T, and what it does to the brain and how it affects you and makes you feel. But it's that self-soothing that you're doing for yourself. You're not asking someone else, am I okay? You're doing it yourself. I'm okay, I'm okay. But there's different things she does, or she'll tell you to do certain
Something kind of grab yourself by the neck and sit yourself down, and which I have to do, and re-ask the question, because my inner self is saying, well, she didn't ask the question right. Great answer to a question I didn't ask. But my question was intended to be, did you go to the University of Wallace or something like that, or where did you go to school? What are your qualifications for being able to, your educational qualifications for doing what you do?
Oh, okay. So currently I'm going to school to get my PhD in sociology. I want to minor in psychology, and I want to minor in neurology, but I really want to be a social scientist. I want to conduct a lot of studies that kind of expose the human error. My favorite sociologist is Henry Milgram, who made an experiment of empathy. And
me and my boy Henry, you guys know better, don't you?
But he's a really amazing sociologist. I think it's awesome. He created this experiment where people had to go and basically hurt another person for money, and they didn't feel comfortable doing it. But his goal was
set
to
up
expose.
A false situation. I
Yeah,
mean, he wasn't
just false. He
videoing
wasn't
people
actually
beating
hurting.
them.
No, no, it was just like a shock, like a mild shock. But the person that was on the other side was saying that he had heart conditions, and he didn't. But it was trying to see where the human mind would stand if money was offered into it, power of control, power of persuasion, power of identity loss, all those things kind of, and people didn't like him for it because he exposed the dark side of things we try to ignore. And that's what I want to do with Paper Dollhouses too.
Well, once you know the dark side, you know where to shine the light, right?
Right.
Now, I think if we said most people are potentially selfish and most people are potentially greedy, most of us would say, no, that's not me. But you've seen various studies that show, even from a child, that that we will take more than our share if we're not taught otherwise, right?
Right, and everything it's taught. It is taught. And a lot of our children don't have that exact teaching, which is why nowadays I've seen such a huge increase of a lot of adults that don't know much.
How do you gauge the relevance of your spiritual supporters, the ones that are helping you talk with your clients?
They helped me a lot.
So if they helped you, you figure they could help somebody
else.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good way to do it.
They actually brought out more than me, because I thought maybe I was prepared for this. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I knew what I was walking into. And then these women came along and were like, nope, let's help you. Let's shine you a little bit better. Let's polish you over here. And then they started making me pull things that I had never pulled before. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm ready now. But if they could do this to me, imagine what they could do for someone else. And that made me really excited.
So what was the paper aspect of your life at 12 years old that had you write such a brilliant, insightful poem?
Around that time, I've always been a pretty bigger girl, but around that time, the family that I lived in was very centric around beauty. They were always, you have to look a certain way, you have to wear makeup, you have to dress like this, you have to do this. I even was put on ephedrine and a bunch of like trim spa and things like that at 12 years old instead of allowing to go outside and play. They wanted me to be an ideal size at 12, and then they wanted me to get surgery, liposuction. And it didn't make any sense because I kept explaining to them at 12 I'm too young for something like that. So I wrote Paper Dollhouses as a kind of an ode to what real beauty is.
I think that probably was the gateway poem. I bet you have more than just that one, don't you?
Oh yeah, I have a lot. I had a poetry book actually. It's called Paper Dollhouse. It's the same book, and it's not really for sale anymore.
But it was for sale.
It was for sale.
Oh well, I would suggest you print it again because this exposure and all will probably make that an item of interest for many people.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
So how far do you plan to go with this? What is your ultimate goal with Paper Dollhouse?
I would love for it to go far enough to where I can hit pretty big people, pretty big names. I want their stories because I want to see if I could try to pull as much empathy out of people as I possibly can. Maybe if instead of they look up to the people that they're looking up to, they don't see them in a negative light, they won't follow them or mimic them. Or maybe if I can help heal a generation of mothers so they can help heal the next generation of children that are coming along, or even men who are going through a lost identity right now, help them kind of see the light as men.
I got an idea for the men thing. You could call it the Paper Treehouse.
I like that.
Oh, you like that?
I do.
Well,
I do
mean,
like
I'm
that.
serious. The Treehouse, that's a boy thing.
I like that. I like that a lot though too. And there's a lot of our little boys that are lacking that moral support from their father. And I do actually on my Facebook I do ask a lot of questions, but they're geared towards human interest. So basically for the men.
My audience knows that if you come up and do this thing called the Paper Treehouse, have royalties coming. You guys back me up on this? Because this brilliant woman is probably going to be very successful in doing that. Yeah. What are the prospects of you working with men?
I want to be able to, I have a son myself.
Congratulations to your son.
Thank
Having
you.
a great mother.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to be a very successful young man. And I want him to be able to go off and do the things that he needs to do. Unfortunately, I can't really say I can put him in a room full of influential, strong men, because when I look around me, unfortunately, it's not there.
How old is your son?
He's 3.
Yeah, give him a little time.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's more than
most
just
of us
him.
men are able to come around and mentor and help him out after he is potty trained.
Perfect timing. That's a perfect timing. But yeah, that's
3 years old.
Yeah.
And I heard you say do the things that he needs to do. So you are, you're planning for him now.
Yeah.
Okay, in this digital world that we live in, where in the old days you just have to kind of worry about the old guy down the street or something. But in this digital world, there are many other things to worry about as you are dealing with women. How often does their children's life come into the aspect of things that you have to talk to them about?
Not much.
Not much.
And that's something that I bring up to them quite a bit too, because I realize, that's why I said a lot of lost adults, we grow up with the notion that we're going to be adults, we're going to have kids, we're going to have a mortgage, we're going to have everything that we're told as a child. And then we have to actually be in the shoes of an adult and do it. And so then we tend to forget that we have children. We stop looking at them like they're individuals, and we begin to look at them as if they're just someone in the house to do something else, or you're my property because I made you. So now the conversation changes. You stop teaching your child about being an individual, and then you start teaching the child how to be your slave. So then that codependent nature starts at such a young age.
Man, that's why, now I know why as grandparents we're like we are.
Yeah.
Because we make them free.
Yeah.
We let them run around the house and do all the crazy stuff, and we give them the candy just before they go home.
Yeah.
So they can
wake
wake their parents up. You know?
Like what you
But
did.
it's a team. It's a team thing, because
Yeah.
it's almost like driving. If you enjoy driving, that's great, but you'll get tired of it sooner or later.
Right.
How do people get in touch with you? How can people become part of your experiment, your test, your program. I don't know exactly what to call it because it seems to work at different levels for different people.
Yeah.
But how can folks get involved, either as a, I'll say client or
Life
a
coach.
spiritual advisor,
Yeah.
a life coach, but how can people be involved with you?
They can contact me on Facebook, either through the Paper Dollhouses page. One of us will answer it. Or we have an Instagram as well. I meant to say that. And we're now kind of generating over to TikTok to see if people can pick up over there. But you can contact us on any of those platforms. Or I do provide out my number on the cards, probably.
Okay, you can tell us because it'll show up right here.
Oh, it'd be
It'll be right here. Go on and tell us the
909
number. 909
676
676
0258.
0258. Now I may have done it backwards. I'm not really sure, but that's good.
Or they can email me at paperdollhousesproductions@gmail.com.
So if you go to paperdollhouse.com, you might either find your poem or your video set or your TV show or a way of getting in touch with you
On YouTube.
on YouTube.
That's the main place where it's at right now until I can make it on Paper Doll Houses. And it's there's a blue circle and it says "From her chaos, showed her beauty." And so that's the tagline of the show. And then you'll see different videos from different people. Like I said, I have different assortments of people. So I do have a few men. I have a viewpoint of on a humble man from a man. And then I have did a autism spectrum awareness show talking about the rates of suicide and things with the autistic community and how we can help them, be better and kind of help them for the future so we can lower the suicide rates, because that was a concern of mine as well. I have different interviews on there from different people. A cartoonist who just came on, Johnny Ray Davis. He kind of showed where he came from and where he's going to now. Janet Fitch from White Oleander, her book that came out, she came onto my show and kind of showcased where she came from as a woman, as a little girl to a woman to who she is now. Now she's a famous author. So,
Paperdollhouse.com.
Paper Dollhouses on YouTube. Paper Dollhouses on YouTube.
Houses.
Yeah.
Okay, it's plural.
Plural.
Very good. Nashane McClain,
McClain. Yes.
thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm not going to say good luck because you guys you're working with a plan and a pattern there that I believe is going to be beneficial to many, many people. God bless you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
There you go, guys. Paper Doll House says on YouTube, and help somebody. You can do it. You don't have to go and get your PhD to be friendly and helpful. Someone will benefit. Thank you for joining us. See you next time. Bye.